everyone, welcome to LICD lecture number 23A. Today we are going to discuss the applications of 555 timer in stable mode. So the very first application is, there are three applications basically. The voltage control oscillator, let me just maximize it. Yeah, so there are actually many applications, but we are particularly discussing three of them: voltage control oscillator, Smith trigger, and pulse position modulation. So one suggestion before going to the applications part, that for attempting to learn the above application, one must understand the working of 555 timer in unstable mode. Remember, this is kind of a oscillator. It is giving the output without any input. Okay, so that's the difference between the monostable and the astable. Monostable, we are applying external trigger pulse, so there is an input. And for all the applications, kindly refer the functional block diagram. So you should know the internal working of 555 timer to understand in unstable mode, to understand this voltage control oscillator. Nevertheless, I will try my level best to make you all understand this. So let us start. Okay, so we all have seen this circuit before: RA and RB and C1. The capacitor charges via RA and RB, and it discharges via RB, and the discharge transistor. We have seen this. In the unstable mode, the pin number 5 was connected to the ground via a capacitor. Not right now. Right now, we are applying a we have connected a potentiometer between the VCC and the ground, and the variable terminal is connected to pin number 5. So what does it mean? Anyone can tell me what will be the V control voltage varying from? If I keep the potentiometer position minimum and maximum, what is the maximum and minimum value of V control? Anyone?
0 and 5 volts.
Yes, perfect. So that means my V control voltage will be varying between 0 and 5. Correct? So here, in the same way, I have transferred this information in this block diagram, as you can see over here. So pin number 5, it was internally set. Let me expand this slightly so that I can show that relevant part. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, internally it is set at 3.33 by this voltage divider. Okay, so as you can see, internally it is 3.33 by default because of this three 5 kilo ohm resistors, 2/3 of VCC. But right now we are externally applying that voltage. So which voltage will be active? Active externally applied voltage or this voltage over here? 3. Whether our externally applied V control will be activated at pin number 5, or internally it will be generated 3.33. Definitely it will be externally applied because we are overriding that voltage. Okay, now let us go to the working of this. Now, anyone has any idea about what is voltage controlled oscillator? Why it is called as oscillator? I have already informed you all. This circuit doesn't work with any
Yeah,
input.
yeah. So based on the input voltage applied, proportional to it, the output frequency will be generated. So for example,
Perfect.
if the voltage is, yeah,
Correct, correct. Perfectly said. The output frequency is a function of input voltage. That's the voltage control oscillator. And this is a very important component in a PLL, phase lock loop. You have a last topic, which is very difficult, it seems now, to reach, but it is a very, very important topic, for phase lock loop. This is one of the vital so let us understand. I mean, you all have, as rightly said, the output frequency will be varied according to the input control voltage. Okay, so let us see that now. The basic functionality of it. Okay, so the astable mode is modified as follows. So you connect a potentiometer between VCC and ground. It's fixed ends. You know that a potentiometer has three terminals. So the third terminal, the variable terminal, the middle one, will go to the pin number 5, as it is seen over here. Okay, as I've already drawn in this diagrammatic form. This symbolic form. Your R potentiometer, it's connected over here. Okay. So here I have already told you all before this point is repeated. The concept is that when we apply V control, I mean this is by this potentiometer, we can control the voltage at pin number 5 from 0 to 5 volts with the help of this R pot. Now, how this working will happen? Let me just read it out for you all a little bit. Okay, in the normal stable mode, what will happen when no external voltage is applied at pin number 5? So pin number 5 is connected to the ground via a capacitor. So C1 in the normal stable mode, the capacitor is charging from 1/3 VCC to 2/3 VCC, and then it is discharging from 2/3 VCC to 1/3 VCC. I hope that everyone remembers this. And the free running frequency, it's given by this formula, 1.45 divided by RA plus twice RB into C1. This also we have derived. Now, due to R pot, the pin number 5, which was set internally at 2/3 VCC, will be altered. So due to this, what will happen? The charging and the discharging time of the capacitor will change. Now, do you understand this point? So in short, the charging and the discharging time of your capacitor will change. Therefore, the total time period will change. Therefore, my frequency will change. It depends upon what is my V control voltage over here. Okay, everyone understanding what I'm trying to say over here? So due to this V control voltage, I will explain this. Just keep a faith. So earlier, when no external V control voltage was applied, the capacitor was charging and discharging between the limits 2/3 VCC and 1/3 VCC. Okay, but now when I change my control voltage from 0 to 5, the charging and the discharging rate of, I mean the height of the capacitor, the charging and the discharging, uh, what I say, the waveform will not have a limit as 2/3 and 1/3 VCC. The limit will change as per the control voltage. Now let us see how. So over here, is it okay if I show you the LT-Spice simulation first and from there I'll explain it? Because that will be easier for me. Okay, yeah. So this is my voltage control oscillator, or we can also say it as a voltage to frequency converter. Okay, and let me simulate this and then explain it to you. Right now my control voltage is, let's say, 2 volts. Okay, and I'll simulate this. So this is my V out. Okay, that's fine. And next we have is voltage across the capacitor. This also I'll merge it over here, and here I will plot the V control. I mean, yeah, I think that one waveform is enough. Yeah, here you can see the control. I mean, just ignore the first cycle. Here it is, pre-charge. So let us start from, let's say, yeah, just concentrate on the from the second waveform. Okay, so here, can you all tell me, it is actually very obvious that the highest value of the capacitor voltage is 2 volts and the lowest value is 1 volt. Okay, and I mean, you are getting almost like a square waveform. And yeah, so here you can test the period. I can check out the period of the waveform. So here I will measure it once. So another cursor I'll take. So one of you note down the period. It's 400 and around. If I expand it, it was not proper. Maybe around 409 microseconds. Okay, so the frequency is 2.44 kilohertz. Right now, let's go back to our, okay, and I'll explain you how that limit is 2 and 1 volt. Rest the entire functioning of the circuit is same. Only the amplitude of my capacitor voltage is changing slightly up and down. So my frequency of the output wave is also changing. Let's see how. So the first case, I have 409 microseconds and my frequency is 2.44. Now let us go back to the PDF. Okay, so this is the first case. When the control voltage is 2 volts, my amplitude of the capacitor voltage is changing from 2 volts to 1 volt. and the frequency and the time period is 409 microseconds. Just now we saw it, and the frequency is 2.44 kilohertz. Okay, now anyone will explain me why it is between 2 and 1? I'll give you 5 seconds and then I'll respond. Control voltage is 2 volts. So why the capacitor voltage is changing now from 2 to 1? Hello? Any one of you? Okay, fine. I'll explain it. So now concentrate over here. V control is 2 volts. That means we have overlapped this to 3.33. Okay, we are external directly applying a 2 volts over here. So if this is 2 volts, then we have a equal resistor over here. So what will be the voltage at this point? 1 point, instead of 1.66, forget about this 1.66 and 3.33. Right now you have applied 2 volts to pin number 5. So what will be the voltage at this point? Anyone? At the positive pin of my comparator number B, what will be the voltage? It's a voltage divider, right? A simple voltage divider. So 2 volts, and if we have applied it, we have applied over here 5 kilo ohm and 5 kilo ohm resistor. Okay. So what will be the voltage at this point?
1 volt.
Yes. Why 1 volt? Because you are applying 2 volts and you have connected. Correct. It will be divided equally. So hence it is 2 volts to 1 volt, and the entire functioning will remain the same. Instead of 3.33 and 1.66, we are getting 2 volt and 1 volt. That's the meaning of this control voltage. Okay. And accordingly, the frequency is 2.44. Now let us again go back to the simulation and check the same thing. If I change it to 3 volts, what will happen? So if I change it to 3 volts, yeah, definitely that square wave earlier which we are getting is not a square wave now, and this is changing from 3 volts to 1.5. Okay, now let's check the time period over here. I hope that you all are following this. Now let me check the time period from here to here. Let me take another cursor so that I can show you real time what is the time period, so that we can relate it, what is exactly happening. Okay, here the time period is around 590 something, 596, and the frequency is 1.67. Okay, let us go back to the 597 around microseconds, and the frequency is 1.67 as it is observed over here. You see over here, sorry. Yeah, 1.67 kilohertz and 597 around close to that. So here you can see. Now can you all tell me similarly why it is 3 and 1.5 equally? Same technique. Here you have 3 volts and this is going via the resistor 5 kilo ohm, and again you have a 5 kilo ohm resistor. So this 3 volts will be equally divided into 3 volts and 1.5. So capacitor voltage will charge and discharge between these two voltages. Okay, so definitely it will its on time will be changed slightly as compared to the earlier waveform, because to reach 3 volts you will require more time. Correct? I hope that you all are following this. So accordingly the time period has increased, and if the time period increases, my frequency will decrease. So my 3 volts, if I increase my control voltage to 3 volts, my frequency is getting changed from 2.44 to 1.67. Okay, now let us check one more last condition. I hope that you all are following, everyone. Yeah, yes, no. So I'm changing this to 4 volt and I'm simulating this again. Yeah, again the values are changing. Now it's taking even more time for the capacitor to charge. So let me check the total time period over here. So it's around 967 or 968 microseconds and 1.03 kilohertz. Yeah, so 968 microseconds and 1.03 kilohertz we are getting with a control voltage of 4, and its value is changing. The capacitor voltage is changing from 4 volt to 2 volt. I mean the capacitor voltage is charging and discharging between this limit 4 volt and 2 volt. I hope that this point is clear why it is 4 and why it is 2 volt, because it is a voltage divider, equal resistance are used. So if you apply at the top 4 volts, you will get a 2 volts here. Okay, so accordingly, entire functioning will take. I mean, now that it is 4 volt and 2 volt, and normal stable mode will come into picture. Okay. So any doubt anyone in this? So as you can see, as my change my control voltage, earlier it was 2 volts, the frequency was 2.44. Now it is the control voltage is 4 volt, the frequency is 1.03 kilohertz. Any doubt in this? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, excellent. So y'all can just go through this for a few seconds. I'll just also describe it. So it is found that the output frequency depends upon the amount of voltage superimposed on the control voltage pin number 5. So that means my frequency is controlled controlled by external voltage at pin number 5. Okay, so this is the principle of operation for a voltage controlled oscillator. So from the output waveforms, here are my output waveforms. Let me show it to you. Okay, it has become too low. Yeah. So from the output waveforms, what we can determine is as the control voltage increases, my frequency of the output waveform decreases while the time period increases. So that's a classic voltage control oscillator. And why this oscillator? Because it works without any input voltages. So here I have described what happens when the control voltage is 2 volt, 3 volt and 4 volt in over here. Okay. So any doubts in this other than, can we move on to the next circuit now? So this was about the voltage control oscillator using 555 timer in astable mode. Okay, so that's it for this first section of the application. Next, I'll start with the Smith trigger circuit.